Chapter 6. The Flashbacks and Confessions. Lisa stood in the center of her small, worn-out dance studio, the familiar smell of sweat and determination clinging to the air. The space was modest. The floors were scraped from years of use, the mirrors cracked in places. But to her, it was a sanctuary. This studio had been her refuge, her escape from the harsh realities of life. It was where she had poured her heart and soul into her craft, where she had fought to become the dancer she was today. But lately, something had shifted. The sudden appearance of Sebastian Blackwood in her life had thrown her off balance. He was a man of immense wealth and power, a man who could have anything he wanted with the snap of his fingers. Lisa had seen men like him before, men who thought they could buy anything, even love. She had no interest in being another one of his possessions, no matter how much his presence unsettled her. As she practiced her routine with the music filling the small space, her thoughts drifted back to her past. She had been raised by parents with little means. They had worked tirelessly to give her the best life, a life away from poverty. But their hard works combined could not take the family out of poverty. She remembered the shame and disappointment in their eyes when she broke the news to them that she was pregnant at 15. Unable to bear the disgrace, they kicked her out of their home. She had been left to fend for herself with nothing but the clothes on her back and a baby growing inside her. With tears flowing down her cheeks, the bitter memories flashed back as if it was yesterday. That day, she stood outside her parents' modest home, her hands trembling as she held tightly to the strap of her worn-out backpack. The sun was setting, casting long shadows across the street, but she hardly noticed. Her heart pounded in her chest, and her stomach trembled with a mix of fear and dread. She had rehearsed this moment over and over in her mind, but no amount of preparation could ease the terror she felt. She was only 15, and she was pregnant. She had kept it a secret for as long as she could, hiding the truth from everyone, including herself. But now the reality was undeniable, and it was time to face the consequences. The thought of telling her parents made her feel sick, but she knew she could not hide it any longer. They deserved to know. Taking a deep breath, Lisa forced herself to walk up the steps to the front door. The house was small, the paint peeling in places, but it was home. It was where she had grown up, where she had felt safe, until now. She hesitated for a moment, her hand hovering over the door handle, before finally pushing it open. Inside, her parents were sitting in the living room. Her father, a stern man with graying hair, was reading the newspaper, while her mother, a petite woman with tired eyes, was knitting in her usual spot by the window. The room was quiet. The only sound heard was the ticking of the old clock on the wall. "Mom, Dad," Lisa began, her voice barely above a whisper. Her father looked up from his newspaper, his expression neutral. "What is it, Lisa? You look pale. Are you sick?" Her mother glanced up, looking very concerned. "Lisa, what's wrong? Come sit down." Lisa shook her head, tears welling up in her eyes. She couldn't sit. She couldn't delay this any longer. "I have something to tell you," she said, her voice shaking. "Something very important." Her parents exchanged worried glances. Her father folded his newspaper, setting it aside. "Well, go on then," he said, his tone firm but not unkind. "What is it, Lisa?" Lisa's breath caught in her throat. This was it. There was no turning back now. "I am pregnant." The words lingered in the air like a heavy cloud, suffocating the room. For a moment there was only silence, and then her father's face twisted in disbelief. "What did you just say?" he demanded, his voice rising with anger. Lisa flinched, but she forced herself to repeat the words. "I am pregnant." Her mother gasped for air. Her knitting fell from her lap as she clutched her chest. "Oh, Lisa," she whispered, her voice breaking. "How could you do this to us?" Tears streamed down Lisa's face as she looked at her parents, their faces a mixture of shock, anger, and disappointment. "I did not mean for this to happen," she sobbed. "I am so sorry. I am sorry." Her father stood up, his face red with fury. "Sorry? Sorry does not even begin to cover this, Lisa. You've ruined everything. Do you have any idea what this means? How could you be so reckless?" Her mother was crying now, her hands trembling as she tried to hold back her own tears. "We trusted you. We raised you to be responsible, to make good choices. And this is how you repay us? By throwing your life away." Lisa felt as if the ground had been ripped out from under her. She had known that they would be angry, but the intensity of their disappointment cut deeper than she had ever imagined. She had let them down in the worst way possible, and there was no way to undo what she had done. "I did not want this," Lisa cried, her voice desperate. "I did not plan for this to happen. Please, please, please understand." Her father shook his head, his expression hardening. "Understand? Understand what? That you have shamed this family? That you have ruined your future? How do you expect us to face the neighbors and the community after this?" Her mother wiped her eyes, her voice trembling with emotion. "We gave you everything we could. We worked so hard to give you a good life, to raise you right. And now this." The weight of their words crushed Lisa's spirit. She had always known they had high expectations for her, that they had sacrificed so much to give her a chance at a better life. And now, she had shattered all of that with one mistake. "I'm so sorry," she whispered again, her voice breaking. "I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't want to ruin everything." Her father's expression softened, but only slightly. "You are so young, Lisa. You have no idea what you're getting into. You are still a child yourself. How can you raise a child?" Lisa's tears flowed freely now, her body shaking with sobs. "I know, Dad. I know I have made a terrible mistake. But I'm going to do whatever it takes to make things right. I'll take care of the baby." Her father cut her off, his voice cold. "No, Lisa. You can't stay here. You've made your bed, and now you have to lie in it. You need to leave." The words hit Lisa like a punch to the gut. "What?" she gasped, her eyes wide with disbelief. "You're kicking me out?" Her mother turned away, her face crumpling with grief. "We can't have you here, Lisa. Not like this. We can't be a part of this shame. You have to go. Please leave now." Lisa saw her world crumbled around her as the reality of their decision sank in. They were rejecting her, abandoning her when she needed them the most. The coldness of the night seeped into her bones, but it was nothing compared to the chill that gripped her heart. "But where will I go?" she asked, her voice small and lost. "What am I supposed to do?" Her father looked away. "That's for you to figure out. You've made your choice. Now you have to live with it." Lisa's knees buckled, and she sank to the floor, her sobs uncontrollable. She had known this would be hard, but she had never imagined it would be this devastating. The thought of leaving her home, of being alone with no support, filled her with terror. "Please," she begged, her voice broken. "Please don't do this. I need you. I need your help." Her mother's tears fell silently as she shook her head. "We can't help you, Lisa. You've brought this on yourself. You need to leave now." With a final, crushing sob, Lisa forced herself to stand. Her legs felt like lead, her heart shattered beyond repair. She looked at her parents, hoping for some sign of compassion, some glimmer of hope, but their faces were hard, their decision final. Without another word, Lisa turned and walked out of the house, closing the door behind her with a heavy heart. The night was cold, the wind biting at her skin as she stood on the front steps, her tears freezing on her cheeks. She had nowhere to go, no one to turn to. She was alone, utterly and completely alone. As she walked away from the only home she had ever known, her heart ached with a grief that felt like it would never end. She had lost everything: her family, her future, her hope. The road ahead was uncertain and terrifying, and she had no idea how she would survive. But as the cold night air wrapped around her, Lisa knew one thing. She had to keep going. She had to find a way to make it through, for the sake of the life growing inside her. No matter how impossible it seemed, she had to survive. She had no other choice.